Hi besties, it's only Grandma Kimmy. I've come on today because I said I would come on and tell you about some of the books that I've been reading in the shutdown. Obviously I haven't read these books fully. Some of them I've just picked through, read a couple of chapters to see what I fancied. Some of them I have read fully. Anyway, me and Ellis thought we would come on and have some book time. As you can see, he's there with his teddy and they've been reading. I'm sure he's leaning forward to say to Teddy, pay attention Teddy, I'm reading to you. So that's what he's doing, and Teddy is obviously very intent on hearing what the story's about. So while those two read, I'll tell you about some of the books I've been reading. Excuse me, a little bit hoarse. Right, the first book is called Irina's Children. And I hope I'm pronouncing her name right because I feel awful if I'm not. It is actually a true story about this lady, Mrs. Sendler, not Schindler, Sendler. Now we all know that Schindler did a great deal in war to help the Jewish community and saved as many as he could. Well, this lady saved children. And she saved thousands, bless her heart. Not only her, I mean, there was a whole load of people that helped her do it. And this is her story, a true story of courage, it's called. And it is a fantastic read. Admittedly, in part, it can be a little bit harrowing because it is mainly about children. It is about the Jewish population in the Second World War in Poland, and they were not treated very well. We know that, and my heart goes out to them and any survivors and any children of them. But it is a good read. It is quite how to explain, it really does go into depth and detail about the time, the place, the history, how it was, what they ate, what they were able to eat, what they didn't get, and what they could get, and who helped them get it. Obviously, it doesn't speak very highly of like the SS and that, but that's natural because this is written about a very, very sad time in history. But it is a really good read. I've read quite a bit through it. The pictures in it are really lovely, obviously mainly black and white, or should I say all black and white, but they are lovely, and they have the pictures of this lady, Mrs. Sindler, from when she was a child up. And there's also pictures that were taken around the time of the war and who she helped. And that was a fantastic book. So that's my first read. And that was this one. I'm still reading it, but I'm getting close to the end. I'm sorry if the light's not very good. Then the second book, Vintage Carter, this is. And it is Angela Carter. And it's called The Bloody Chamber. This was lent to me by a friend. You've heard me talk about my favourite cafe. Well, the proprietor there let me borrow this. What it actually is, she's taken really well-known fairy tales and legends, as they would be, like Red Riding Hood, Bluebeard, Puss in Boots, Beauty and Beast, vampires and werewolves, and then Angela Carter has created her own idea on those particular stories. It is, as it says on the back, a collection of dark, sensual, fantastic stories. They're not very long, and if you like a good story, if you like a good fairy tale, read this because it gives you a totally different idea. And I do feel that it's given more from the feminine point of view rather than the wolf or the vampire or whatever. It's given to you from the female point of view, and that is a very good read, and it's a quick read. So if you've got a bus journey or a car journey, or you want to sit in the garden for some sun, that is a good one. I read this one a few weeks back and enjoyed every minute of it, and this is called Bomb Sites and Lollipops, My 1950s East End Childhood. Now, this is written by Jackie Hames. I think you say her name. Please excuse me if my reading's not fantastic. But this is really good. I mean, World War II is over and peace has started to settle down again. But there's a huge improvement, obviously. Food shortages, endless queues, power cuts, rationing, freezing winters make it extremely difficult to make ends meet as husbands return from battlefields to families they hardly know. It is about living in that time as a child. It's about watching your parents cope with the situation, especially women, because obviously a lot of women were left at home when the men were away, and obviously a lot of the men didn't come back, and it is about that. And it's about how everyone clubbed together to get through it, as we need to right at the moment, don't we? Yeah, so that's that one. Bomb Sights and Lollipops. Brilliant book. Brilliant, brilliant. Now, this next one I've only read a very small part of, because I was reading the other one about the Jewish people in Poland, and it upset me a bit. I read a chapter and it was too much, and I had to put it down and stop thinking about it. And believe it or not, I started to read this one, which is called Blood Cruise. On the Baltic Sea, no one can hear you scream. Now, it says at the bottom, a must read for fans of Stephen King. And I like a bit of Stephen King. I like a bit of horror. I like a bit of mystery. Now, I've just started the first, I believe it is 2 chapters, which introduces the first 2 people in the story. And it seems to me that it is going to be a bit scary. It says on it, a rip-roaring, red-raw horror thriller. A rousing, vibrant and fabulously bloodthirsty read. So I reckon this is going to be good, but believe it or not, I would rather have read this horror story to take my mind off of what was happening to the Jews in Poland, because it wasn't very nice. Okay, so that's that. Then the next one I've got in the pipeline to read is this one. It's called The Little Vineyard in Provence. The reason I picked this out is by a lady called Ruth Kelly. The reason I picked this out is because I have been watching on telly a lady on YouTube called Stephanie, and she is the Lady of Chateau. There is a French name for it, and do you know, for the life of me, I can't remember what the lady's called. The chateau she has is called, I think it's Dalaland. Sorry, not French, don't know languages very well, but I watch her. She's fantastic. In fact, her videos have helped me cope with getting through this. I started from the beginning and have caught up now, and it's about her life in the chateau and how her family lived there, and that's brilliant. But anyway, one of her friends, Ruth Kelly, stayed at the chateau while she wrote this book. It says on the back, it says, Ava needs to escape, stuck in a dead-end job. Her husband Marcus left her with a mountain of debt and no clue as to when he'll be back. And then she receives news that her grandfather has passed away, which means that she learns that he has left her his vineyard in Chateau St. Clair. And they do say that it's quite based on the chateau that I've been looking at, and introduces some of the people in it, not with the same name. But anyway, yeah, so they're the books. I have got another couple more I'm reading, but I'm going to stop now and read to Lewis. And I'll show you the other 2 books I've got another time, maybe. Ellis. I called him Lewis. Ellis. Sorry, darling. Okay, I'm going to read to him. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what I like to read. But anyway, take care. We love you loads, don't we? We do. You're right. I wonder what he's got in his pocket, because he's got his hand in his pocket. I bet it's a sticky sweet. I'll have to remember to check that before I put it in the washing machine. You're hiding something, little man, aren't you? Okay, love you. Bye.